Welcome back to the Kingdom Dreamers podcast. I'm so excited to be here again with you today. So, today's topic is all about your purpose, your calling, the confidence to step into that, and really what that looks like and how you can discover what that is for you and your life. So, I know I lived a lot of my life very unsure, not clear, lots of questions. So, we're going to dive into that in just a minute. So, before we get into that, I am going to be releasing my purpose guide, how to step into your God given purpose, a guide that will walk you through what that looks like. It'll have questions and journal prompts, and it's like a little mini workbook to help you in that journey. Now, I will be offering that for free in my membership that I am launching this month. And the price of the membership is the same price as the workbook is going to be. So you'll get it for free in the membership. I'm telling you, it's going to be $19 this membership. $19, y'all. You're going to get live coaching calls with me to ask me anything and everything about life, about spiritual growth, about business, about mindset, identity, motherhood, whatever it is. You will be able to ask me anything that you are struggling with, anything that you want to get unstuck from, that you need some direction or help with. That is what I am here for. And I'm going to help walk you through that, help you with those limiting beliefs that are holding you back from stepping out and stepping into what God has. So, this is going to be all about that. In the membership, I'm going to have videos released talking about different subjects so that you can also have those resources to go through. And I'm going to be giving this guide in that membership as well. So if you are interested in that, if you want to get unstuck, if you want to grow, if you want to discover your purpose, your identity, and really learn how to walk in that with God, then this is the place for you. It is going to be just so good. Spirit filled, prophetic activations, prayer, community support. So you will get all of that for only $19. So this is the launch price. We need to get on that wait list that I have. So check the show notes for the wait list so you can hop on that and start stepping into the abundant life that God has for you. So I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can discover your God-given purpose and your calling. All right. So a lot of my life, I lived very unsure of my purpose. I always knew I wanted more. More. Okay. So what does that look like? I wanted more. Well, I knew I wanted to be more joy filled, more joyful. I've always been like a very happy, bubbly person, but I wanted to feel the deep sense of joy because I always felt this longing in my heart for more. And I always was looking to outside sources for that joy. I was always looking for experiences or for events or for affirmation from others. I was always looking outside of myself for something to give me that fulfillment that I wanted. And I knew, I mean, I was close to God. I had a good relationship with him, but I still was not able to fully tap into the fulfillment that I knew he had for me. And I still was always wondering and longing for more. Okay, so first off, I want to just start right there that longing that you have, that's for a reason. And that is supposed to be met by God, of course, right? So that longing, so often we think that our outside sources, our outside external circumstances are what actually dictate and produce the joy or the feelings that we want. But that is actually not true. Us within is actually what produces that fulfillment. The Holy Spirit, God within, is what gives us the fulfillment that we need. And now, even deeper than that, even maybe you've been a Christian your whole life and you still have not experienced that. Even another level of that is believing and knowing your worth, believing and knowing who you are, believing and knowing your purpose in life. that definitely has something to do with that fulfillment. Now, your mind will constantly will tell you different things, okay? So, if you have grown up to not believe that you're worthy or not believe that you're good enough or not believe that you can do anything, you are going to have that belief system already ingrained in your brain that's going to constantly whisper those lies to you saying that you can't do it, you'll never succeed, you'll never be good enough. And that will constantly hold you back. But you have to take it deeper than that and look at what's going on in your mind. Look at what's going on up here and realize that, okay, this has been ingrained in me. Now I need to take a hold of that. I need to take a hold of those thoughts and switch it over to what God is saying, because that is the foundation. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know whose you are, you will never be able to step into your purpose or your calling. You will always feel less than and not good enough. You need to really look at, okay, what have I been thinking? What have I been um, realizing about myself? What have I been believing? Because once you can then see that, then you can take it deeper and realize, okay, now I know where I need to start in my mind for me to really discover and step into that purpose, that calling, and that confidence that God has for me. Because our circumstances will always change. Our circumstances will always not be exactly what we want or hope for. But it's our job to take a hold of what's going on internally and realize that that is actually dictating so much more than we realize. So that was a total game changer for me when I started realizing the power that I had within myself, and that me constantly looking for the fulfillment outside of myself and through external circumstances was never going to lead me to that fulfillment that I longed for. So that was my first step, realizing, okay, internally, God has already given me everything that I need, everything that I want, He has given me within, because He is the source. He is the one that provides the peace, the joy, the hope, the love, all of that. And then after that, after I know who I am, after I know my identity, then I can start thinking about what is my purpose. Okay, so the first step, the first way to discover your purpose is to discover your identity, to discover who you are in God. That is the foundation. And that looks like praying. That looks like asking God, God, who am I? Who do you say that I am? What do you speak about me? What are you talking what are you saying about me throughout the day? Because He's always saying things. He's always wanting to speak to you. He always has so much goodness for you. And for a lot of us that haven't lived in a place or lived in a home that was affirming or that was comforting or helpful, then we are used to not receiving the love and the truth of what God says. So take some time and go to Him and just ask Him, God, what are you saying about me? Who do you say that I am? And go deeper, because your mind may tell you, well, He doesn't say anything good to me. He doesn't have anything good for me. So then you need to go to the Word and research, look up, Google, what does God say about me? Who am I? What is my identity in God? And He says that you are a daughter of the Most High God. So that means you are royalty. You have royal blood running through your veins. He says you are His beloved, that you are His daughter. You are more than enough. You carry the fullness of God within you. What is the fullness? The fullness is love, joy, peace, patience. Those are all of what God offers, and you carry that within yourself. You may not be exercising it or acting out on it or living like it, but it is still within you. It is still deep within your heart, because you are one with Him. And He has those things, those fruits for you ready and waiting. So that is the first thing. You need to go to God. Go pray. Go read the word. Go discover who he says you are. Who is your identity? That is the foundation. I'm telling you, if you try to discover your purpose, your calling outside of that, it will only lead to you feeling again lost, confused, longing, because it's not truly what God has for you. Because it may be along the lines of what he has, but until you know who you are, you're not going to actually be able to be confident in it. You're not going to actually be able to step fully into it and live that out. So I encourage you to go take some time today to write out some verses, to take a moment to pray, put some worship music on, and just ask him to speak. Holy Spirit, speak. Show me who I am in you. All right. Now, number two to discovering your purpose is to think about all the things that you have loved in life. What have been your passions? What have been your interests? What have you been good at? Those are all things that will point to your purpose, to your calling. So for me, I lived my entire childhood, teenage life wanting to do acting, wanting to write, wanting to sing, and wanting to be in the entertainment industry. I loved all of that, okay? I was the creative spirit. I was more spontaneous. I did not enjoy school very much. I was just there to socialize. So all of those things were desires in my heart that I have never strayed from. Okay. So since I was 2 years old, I loved the camera. Just is what it is. And I always thought that that meant, okay, so I'm supposed to be maybe getting into acting or doing commercials or whatever, photography, like being a model or whatever, all of these things. And my grandma actually used to be a high fashion model, a runway model. My grandma and my grandpa used to be musicians. My dad and his brothers were musicians. They lived in Hollywood. So all of these things pointed to the entertainment industry. Okay, pointed to all the things that I loved. But my grandma told my mom to not let me get into the industry because she knew how bad it was and she knew that it was not a good place. And for someone who has experienced it knows the depths of what that looks like. So my parents did not let me. They did not give me the opportunities like I had wanted. Okay. And that was hard because it's still what I always wanted to do. So I lived so much of my life wondering, okay, well, what do I do now? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I went to school. I got a associate's degree in writing. I did all the arts classes and I was singing and all this stuff, but I still did not know my true purpose or calling in life. I knew I loved God and I loved encouraging women and I loved inspiring. I just naturally was like that. And I knew as the years grew by, as I got into my mid 20s, that I loved ministry and just seeing people come to life in him, discovering how good he was for others to get healed emotionally and physically. Those were all things that just made me so happy, that lit me up, that brought life to myself, that lit my fire or lit my soul on fire. And so years go by and I discover all of these new things and I start stepping out on these little glimpses that I had, on this interest that I had to encourage women to speak. I had no idea that that was even something possible. I had no idea that could be like something real until I started doing all kinds of different things. I got my real estate license. I got into network marketing. I saw different leaders speaking on stages, and that made me so excited. And by these things that I tried to do that maybe didn't work out the way I'd hoped or didn't really lead to what I wanted, it showed me so many different things. And I realized, okay, this is leading me somewhere. So I started encouraging women and I started doing ministry stuff and speaking and doing my podcast and all of that. And I'm telling you, that is the moment that I realized all of those things as a kid is what has led me here. All of those desires and interests that I had has led me here because now I feel like this is my true calling. I discovered this was my true purpose, that all of those seeds were in my heart for a reason because God still wanted me to do those things in just a different way. Now I can speak in my podcast. Now I can do videos. Now I can encourage women. Now I can do all of that type of stuff that I wanted, but doing it for Him in ministry, in encouragement, and inspiration, in seeing other women grow and learn their identity and be encouraged and inspired. That is what He knew is what will make me come alive. And I'm using all of those interests now in a better way than I could have imagined. Instead of acting and being on TV where I probably would have not felt fulfilled, I get to use that here and I get to have that outlet in this way. And I couldn't think of a better way to do this because this is what I truly love. So don't discount those little interests that you had, those little desires, those little passions that you had as a kid, because God has put those there for a reason and you can use them. You just have to discover what they are. You just have to realize what He has created you to be and then gaining the confidence to actually do it, which is another whole topic, which I will do a different time. But that is the start of discovering your purpose. Okay, so number 3 is to actually look at that. Okay, you're looking at what your purpose is, you're looking at your interest, you're looking at all of those things that you used to enjoy as a kid. And then now it's time to experiment. Now it's time to take a step of faith, to put your foot out there and experiment. Try something new. Whether you fail or not, that is not the point. The point is to try, because the more you try, the more you will discover what you really like. The more you will get closer to what it is that God has. The more you will step into the fullness of that. Like I said, for me, I tried all kinds of different things. I realized, okay, I don't really like this that much, but I like this aspect of it. Okay, I don't really like this that much, but I like this aspect of it. So I just kept trying, experimenting and asking God, okay, God, to direct me, to guide me, to speak to me, to lead me to where I am supposed to be. And I'm back to where I'm supposed to be, and I know it. I believe it. I know that this is exactly what God has. But it took time to realize that because I wanted to know for myself. I wanted to try different things because I have lots of interests. I wanted to see maybe I would like doing it like this more versus this. And all of that has led me to being confident and sure now of what it is. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying you're not going to fail. I'm not saying that you're going to have success right away. No. No, that's not true. But you're going to gain the knowledge and the confidence that you need. And you're going to take all of that to discover what it is that is on your heart and what it is that God has created you for. Okay? Because you were made for more. You were designed for so much more. You were created with a purpose for a purpose. And you need to believe that and know that those desires, those dreams on your heart are there for a reason because God wants you to live them out. He has so much more for you. And that is my passion and my desire to help encourage that in you, to help ignite those dreams on your heart, and to help you step into that and live them out, to live out the dream life that you were created for. All right. I hope this helped you. Please share this with another lady who needs this. Help someone else feel encouraged. I would love if you left a review on the podcast. It really helps other women find it. And again, if you are ready to get unstuck, to start gaining the clarity and discovering your true purpose and identity in God, then be sure to join the waitlist and get on my membership so that we can do it together. All right. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will be back next time.